Hello, welcome to Sport Gamer. I'm your host, Rob. Merry Christmas! Yes, welcome to the show. I hope you are all well. Let me just jump into the chat and see who is about. Tomb King Tristan. Merry Christmas, bro. Merry Christmas. Chat gang. DeBolt, good morning. I hope you're well. Or afternoon, yes. I was working, Brad Glover, what up? I was working in a nightclub. Oh, let's start the recording of the podcast, actually. Hello, welcome to the Sport Game. I'm your host, Rob. Reaper morning. Yeah, I was working until a nightclub until 4 o'clock last night, hence the late start. I'm sorry. I thought I'd be able to make it by 1, but the show took a little bit longer to set up. My apologies, but Merry Christmas to you all. I don't know how I feel about Storm Fiends. So, welcome. So today is fantastic. Happy Merry Christmas. I bet it's cold where you are. Today is our Christmas shopping guide for Chaos. It's pretty big, so it's going to take a while. So I'm going to go slow. We're going to take our time. We're going to all hang out together and have a laugh. Tatafishy, good evening. Cold Trap, hi there. If you are watching back or listening to the podcast, thanks very much. And as always, thank you to everyone on Twitch. That's why today it's Twitch only. Everyone on Twitch has been supporting me for like 2 years now. So I just made this subs only. Just us can chat. If you want to join in the fun, please do. That would be rad. We want more people in our community. So that's what I'm about, growing a community. And then thank you to everyone on Patreon. You guys are brilliant. Where's the Santa suit covered in dance club gravy? The Santa suits, yes. I wore a Santa suit to the nightclub last night. Interesting fact, that Santa suit hasn't been washed in 6 years. But there's this. Oh, hold on. Check this out. Should I do the whole show in this? I'm going to come back to the shot. It's terrible for the podcast, but I'll return. I'm not sure if you can hear me. But I could just do the whole show like this. Ta-da! Although I do have to shout, and that hurts my voice quite a lot. But what do you think? Hi, DeBolt. Thank you for subscribing for 2 years. Happy birthday! Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, yeah. Reindeers. That is warm. I'm not going to lie to you. It is hot inside there. Oh, gosh. That made it all worth it. I'm glad. Oh, I'm taking this off. Wow, that is warm. That is happening. Okay, let's go Santa hat. This is comfier. Okay. Yes, you're right. The new Plague War Scroll is out. Should we talk about it? Before we get on with anything else then, is everyone up for it? 20,000 bits, he does it for 5 minutes. Tristan, next year when I do the daily show, the plan is going to have like a bunch of stuff. So what I really want with the daily show next year is I want it to be way more interactive. So if you have any thoughts or ideas, I'm going to have a bunch of stuff where like some more room on the screen where people can like activate things and derail the show. And basically I just want it to be a laugh. An hour a day where we have a laugh, where we center it around Warhammer. That's my plan. So if you got any thoughts like that, message me later. We'll talk it out. Where the head has practiced for the heat in CanCon. It's going to be bloody warm at CanCon. Right, let's go look. Plague Monks. Also, are you all okay? Could you let me know how you are, what you're up to, how things are going? I'm considering these daily shows to be like super personal, so I'm just want to like get involved with my family. Plague Monks. There we go. Downloads. Honestly, I was saying yesterday, I know there was some tech issue yesterday with the internet and stuff, but I was saying to like a couple of my mates and to the missus, I was like, it went really well. Dassault, thanks for subscribing for 3 months. Merry Christmas, Reflex Dog Training Painting. Like, because I've been doing the offline videos, but I just like read the thing, learn the thing, say the thing. I've got mad respect for the people that can do that, but I just don't want to. I want to interact with you guys, and maybe it's a little bit more haphazard. Maybe it's not quite as focused or as detailed, but I need someone else in the room to help me like bounce off, and this is way more engaging for me. So please join me when we do the daily shows, because like it's just really fun. I'm drilling through steel plate like 50 times. What? How come? This Plague Monk scroll, know if it's up yet. It is up, and I'm about to read it. So let's get involved, shall we? It's ruined my monks. It may well have ruined your monks. So is the old War Scroll still on the app? So then I can compare it. Let's have a little cheeky look-see. That's the problem. When they do digitally change everything, because I access almost everything digitally, then it's hard to get the older version. It'd be cool to have like a database. I know that there's a couple of guys who do some real good work like that. So Plague Monks. Okay. So yeah. Pair of fetid blades, previously 2 attacks, but previously they hit on 4s, now they hit on 3s. Wound on 4, so that's the only difference. So they now hit 1 better. Bring of the Word, one model can be Bring of the Word. It carries the Book of Woes. That's the same. And the Book of Woes is in your hero phase. You can pick one enemy unit within 30 inches of this unit's Bring of the Word. What word does he bring? Can I ask that question? Is he like, what word? Death, I imagine, or nerfs. Finally, some Varangard stone here. Nice. Which one? Oh, what? Chaos Varangard. Yeah, not Vanguard Raptors or anything like that. Okay. Bring of the Word seems to be Book of Woes. Yep, it's the same. So this ability has no effect on Nurgle units. This effect has no ability on Clan Pestilence units. Interesting. Yeah, so that's changed. That's rad. That's the same, apart from that little change. Then you've got Standard Bearer. Hi, Jonathan Etland. Roll a dice each time a model from this unit is slain by an attack made with a melee weapon. If this unit includes a Contagion banner, which it does. Wait, when every 10 models unit can be a Standard Bearer while that unit is slain by an attack with a melee weapon before this model is removed. On a 6, the enemy suffers a mortal wound if this unit is within 3 inches. So yeah, that's changed. Because previously it was any range. Bird. He says bird. Bird is the word. 1 every 10 models. Add 1 to the run and charge rolls to this unit. That's the Plague Harbingers. Add 1 to the run and charge rolls unit with the Doom Gong. Thanks very much. We lost 2 attacks on the charge and lost Rend. Okay, yeah. So Frenzied Assault, add 1 to the attacks characteristics of unit's melee weapons. If this unit made a charge, add 1 to the attacks characteristic. You still got of this unit's melee weapons if it charged. So that's the same. So you still get +1 attack if you charge. And then, but the fetid blades, you could reroll all hit rolls, but fetid weapons, which is both of them now, if the unmodified wound roll for an attack made with a melee weapon by this unit is a 6, the attack succeeds twice instead of once, makes the save roll. That's way worse. Arguably way better. But yeah, no rerolls. So you lost. So you're hitting +1 to hit. You don't have the rend anymore when you do 6s to wound either. So you lost rend, and you've lost the double damage, and you've also lost. Have you lost the mortal wounds as well? Wow. It's not 2 profiles. You choose 1 profile now. Okay, so pair of fetid blades or fetid blade. Okay. All right, so losing rerolls is big. Hitting on 3s. I mean, it's still a bucket of dice, 3 attacks each, potentially, and you can get that up to 4 attacks. And reroll wounds comes from the Plague Furnace, right? I think there's reroll wounds, yeah. So yeah, words for 280 points for 40 bodies. Yeah, I mean they still. It's they're now worth the 280 point for 40 bodies. Yeah, I think. I don't think they've gutted them, which I think is a thing. Like 3 on the charge, 3 attacks each on a block of 40 is 120 attacks hitting on 3s. So you still like, even if you're just giving it, so my standard process for working out if something is good, it is I always do it against a 4-up save. So that 120 attacks, not including any of the bonuses that you're going to get. It's going to hit 80 times. It's going to wound 40 times, and against a 4-up save, it's going to do 20 damage. So 20 damage to something with a 4-up save is quite a lot. That's 10 Sequitors dead. It kills a Bloodthirster dead. That's still decent. That's not including any buffs you can put on it, like reroll once to hit, reroll in to wound. So before they were a waste to have 40 because they could deal 100 wounds after saves. Wow. They still churn out the damage. Yeah, good day, Twitch Village idiot. So yeah, good change. But what's important is not a drastic change. They're still not they still haven't changed some of the things that makes them so scary. For instance, Death Frenzy is still available to Skaven players, and also like the empowered Death Frenzy where it happens on D3 units. So Plague Monks now are probably worth their 280 points. It might still be too cheap if you think about the sheer volume of dice that you can knock out. So I think again another good change, but not a drastic change. So yeah, good. I think anyone who has Plague Monks is going to say, do you know what? Yeah, you've changed them, but you haven't made them unplayable. I think that's a good change. They're still there. They've still got that 6-up save. They're still very susceptible to battle shock because the susceptibility to battle shock is when they run away from where they can be played quite badly, I think. So you have to play to keep them in the right places. So yeah, good change. 280 points, 120 attacks. That's still a lot, right? You compare them to ghouls, I think the access to Death Frenzy as the internal balance is a good conversation, but good. I'm rating it. Tick box for me. I think they've done a good change. When I ran block 40, it says kids with SIDS, and lost 25, I didn't have any issue still killing the unit back with only 15 or so. Yeah. I mean, they're good. I look at Roblin's Christmas hat and now desperately want some Honest Wargamer Roblin Gnomes for the garden. Oh, man. Let me write that. Let me put that on my list. Roblin Gnomes. Nathan Soundboard. Roblin Gnomes. We'll sort that out for next Christmas. Get that on the shopping list. Water bottles coming soon, I think. All right. Rad. Okay. Thanks for joining me. Plague Monk War Scroll done. I think it's a mighty good change. Honestly, they have not done bad. I saw someone put up and said, "Oh, they've made some pretty nonsensical points changes to look like they've done some work," and I'd agree with that. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I would argue is still pretty unplayable or a bit silly. How bad it is or overcosted it is. Eidolon of the Sea, Eidolon of the Storm are good examples where they still haven't hit the mark. But with the problem children, Plague Monks, Storm Fiends, we'll ignore Fire Slayers because I think they messed that up. Slanesh, they've really they've done something, but they haven't gone. They used to be terrible with FAQs where they would just headshot something, it would be dead, and then it'd be unplayable. This has just brought it more in line. It's way more reserved. But not reserved in the way that they're doing the points changes with the Eidolons, which is too reserved in my opinion. I think it's enough maybe to take the edge off. Thoughts in the chat? Does anyone disagree? Everyone on board? Yeah, good job. Well done. It's impressive. They might be a game company yet. How do you all feel about that? Yeah, as a Slanesh player, I'm happy with the changes, but I do agree it pushed lists more towards bringing as many keepers as possible. So you think? Do you think? I don't agree. I think it went the other way, and it made you take an Archeon, or Chariots, or I ended up writing lists last night. I'm glad we're talking about Chaos now, because I was writing lists last night with Blood Crushers, and they're not Blood Crushers, but they're the mortal versions of Blood Crushers. They are called Juggernauts of Khorne. So Blood Crushers and Jugs, and they were the lists were just amazing. De Templar, 25 months in the house. Greetings. De Templar is a nurse, and also is a Warcry wizard. Don't hold that against him though. No, not Warcry wizard. Sorry, it's the other game that people don't play. Underworlds. That's the one. But it's nice to see him in the chat, and thank you for being here for all this time. Right, what's up? Let's talk our buying guide for Christmas. So I'm going to go through the different sub factions. You ask me any questions on what you think what you think would be good to buy, whether or not I think it's a good idea to buy for Christmas, what you're thinking, how you might build an army, where your go-to is, and then and it's cool because the point. I'm glad I scheduled it. Was going to do this last week, pushed it to this week, hoping for the points changes. Point changes come out, so it's worked really nicely for us. So let's start with Slaves to Darkness. Now, they have a start collecting box, and I think this is probably the jump-off point for where we get into Slaves to Darkness, because for me, if you're going to play Slaves to Darkness, I think the real question is, are you going to play Archeon, or are you not going to play Archeon? I think that's really where you have to start things off. Because he's 800 points. So if you're going to take Archeon, you're building around Archeon. So that needs to be the first question you want to ask yourself. And if you've never played with a large model, like a centerpiece like that, like Nagash, something that takes up like a large portion of your army, you do have to ask yourself. I, for one, I don't know how you guys feel, but I, for one, sometimes feel penned in when I have a large model on the board that's quite important. I've never been particularly good with bully units, so units like that you just sling at your opponent, or you use for threat ranges. I've always liked movement to help me out a lot with repositioning, counter strikes. That's been my play style. So that big model syndrome, you've got to ask yourself if that's something you're excited about or you've ever played with before. Are you going to play them good, or are you going to buy the start collecting boxes as a Reaper? Yeah, I think that's. Well, no, hold on. I think you can do something with the start collecting box. I said this yesterday. So first question, ask yourself, are you going to buy Archeon? Yes or no? If you are, I say you're going to build the army around Archeon. In which case, it's good to take some buff units that can buff Archeon. Because then, and also, if we're looking at all of the Slaves to Darkness, not Slaves to Darkness, if we're looking at the entire Chaos sub-faction, you're asking yourself, actually, Archeon is the best purchase you can make, in my opinion. Because he's 800 points of every army you want to play. He's 800 points of Sinesh. He's 800 points of Khorne. He's 800 points of Nurgle. He's 800 points of Tzeentch. So he's already the cheapest buy to play so many armies. So I would say that on your shopping list, if you wanted to play Chaos, would be Archeon, would be your very first thing. If you want to play him. If you don't want to play him, then cycle back and start again. But I would say, so it's either the yes, no. So that needs to be the first question you're asking yourself if you can want to play Chaos. Do you want to play Archeon? Question in the chat, anyone planning on playing him or doesn't want to play him? Sorry I'm late, it's the first time we covered in the show. Yes, it's the first one, Bling Marine. So I probably should have a little tracker. I'll do that next time so you guys can, when you join in the show, you know where we are in the chat, if that helps. Idiot Wins, you're going to play him? I think I'm going to play him as well. I think that could be really fun, especially as, like I say, he's so adaptable into which army you put him. So I guess really it's Archeon Plus, and then it's the Slaves to Darkness box, right? So then STDs. So ask yourself that question, and then we'll move on. Afternoon, Jester Styles. So the start collecting box has got Chaos Knights, 5 of them, and 10 Chaos Warriors, and it's also got the Chaos Lord and Karkadrak. Now, the Chaos Lord and Karkadrak's not very good. And the Chaos Knights and Chaos Warriors don't have very much offensive output, especially if you compare it with something like the Plague Monks, who we just talked about a minute ago. I know, obviously, they're ludicrous offensive output, but if you compare them to anything in the game, they don't have a very solid defensive output. They do have a pretty good... defense mitigation. They've got Chaos Rune Shields against mortal wounds, and they've also got those 2 wounds and that 4-up save. So they just I'm lost my train of thought. Yeah, I'm trying super hard not to say that they suck balls, but they do suck big nasty balls. Chaos Warriors and Chaos Knights got done really hard, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean there isn't ways round them if you want to make them work really well. And for me, it's going to be about the buff pieces. So unfortunately, you're going to have to invest more points in making those units better versus other units which are naturally better. That's going to be a hard comparison to make, in my opinion. So if you want those kind of choppy foot soldiers of chaos, Chosen are going to be way better than Chaos Warriors. If you want bodies on the board to score objectives and to fight their way through, Chaos Marauders are better than Chaos Warriors. If you want something that can that's cavalry and can do some really good charges, Juggernauts of Khorne are better. Varangard are kind of better. I don't really rate them, but they get to pilot and attack twice at the end of the day. So really, whatever you see on the War Scroll is twice as good. So they're better. So it's really hard to justify either the Chaos Knights or the Chaos Warriors unless you go for a super defensive build, which used to be something that we saw before. So you used to see Chaos War Shrines, and you used to see some of the battalions used to do these mega buffs for the different armies. So like to make these super defensive Chaos Warrior builds. So there's still the options to do that. But would these be the first thing on my list, the Start Collecting box? It would not, in any way, shape, or form. So the Slaves to Darkness Start Collecting box is not how you start collecting Slaves to Darkness, in my opinion. So I know that sounds terrible. If you do want to collect Slaves to Darkness, you do want to collect Chaos Marauders, and then you're having a great time. That's if you wanted to play. I mean, if you want to play with Archaon, Chaos Marauders. If you don't want to play with Archaon, Chaos Marauders. Yeah. That's the start for me. Anyone got any feelings or ideas on it? No? Slaves to Darkness. Convert some Marauders. I still hate. Yes. So we did talk about this yesterday, and I did put up a tweet for suggestions of different Chaos Marauder models that you can get, and there were loads. There's some really cool ones from Miss Miniatures. A lot of people were talking about the Warcry warbands, and then there's just some really good options. But Chaos Marauders seem to be the thing for me, if that helps out. So the other things to take now, the Slaves to Darkness Demon Prince, I think, is a wicked shout if you want to collect Slaves to Darkness. And again, talking about the whole army. The whole of the Chaos subfaction, because basically we're talking about 6 armies in the same breath, and then we're talking about Skaven. Hey, Vladium, hope you're well, man. Yeah, all of Vormoders got knocked on the head. Marauders is not one I would have chosen to stay. Yeah, I don't think they're very nice at all. So those 6 books that we're talking about, obviously, is all of the gods. So Khorne, Tzeentch, Slaanesh, and Nurgle, Slaves to Darkness, and Beasts of Chaos. Because the Slaves to Darkness and Beasts of Chaos, you can give any of the other god keywords in and put them in. So the Chaos book is the best. No, the Chaos subfaction, Grand Alliance. Sorry, I'm going to try one more time. The Chaos Grand Alliance is. See, this is what I do when I record it on my own. Now I don't have to. You guys just have to listen to me talk shit. Is this okay? Are you guys having a right time? I hope so. Yeah, the best money you can spend is in the Chaos Grand Alliance. If you're trying to be frugal, which is why we're doing a buying guide. If you're trying to be sensible, because you can literally buy Archaon and he's 800 points of every army that you want to collect. Same for if you buy, when we get to the Beast of Chaos, if you buy any of those. But I would never, ever, ever buy the Slaves to Darkness Start Collecting box because it sucks. Demon Princes, though, I would buy Demon Princes. They make Nurgle armies better. They make Slaves to Darkness armies with the keyword Nurgle better. A Demon Prince in conjunction with Archaon makes Archaon better. But again, I think the Demon Princes from Games Workshop are awful, but there are there are Demon Princes from a variety. Creature Cast to do some great ones. Hero Forge to do some great ones. Games Workshop themselves, including Forge World, do some better ones. All of the new Chaos monsters that are coming out will make rad Demon Princes. The Demon Princes are your time to shine. I think I'm going to do 6 Demon Princes next year, and I'm just going to do them all out of bits that I've got in the office. I was thinking of making a Tree Lord Ancient into a Demon Prince. I thought that would look amazing. Give it some like just messed up wings and just like because they're just awesome cool. They got 8 wounds with a 3-up save. So again, rules wise, I'd pick up some Demon Princes. Models wise, I would pick up something else and turn them into Demon Princes because the Demon Princes from Games Workshop are gross and old. Twitch Really Idiot says, as someone who wants to jump into AOS, this is very helpful. Not just for Christmas, but in general. That's good. This is great. It's like having a friend in my pocket. You got a friend all over, man. All of you do. All right. I'm here for you, and I'm glad you're here for me. So let's do this together. I do make Tree Lords into everything, but that's. I mean, because they're an anthro. Like, but that's the point, right? Like, that's what I would do. Like, there was certain, like, Morghast. I've seen loads of people turn Morghasts into Demon Princes. Great idea. Like, could you turn Mangler Squig into Loon Boss or Mangler Squig? You cut off the Loon Boss and, like, make Demon Mangler Squigs. That's the thing about Demon Princes. They could be almost anything. They're, like, they were mortals once, but given... chaos powers and risen to demonhood. So, like, you want to get real weird with it. Like, get real creepy. Like, find something and just turn it into a demon prince. And the ranges are like a mega boss as a demon prince. Can you do that? Obviously, it's got to go on a certain size base, but I think you could get real creepy and weird with it. And I think you should. Instead of just buying 6 or 3 or 2 of the crappy Demon Princes from Games Workshop, right? Yeah, enjoy the creative element of the hobby. Mangler Squig can make a cool Nurgle Greater Demon. Yeah, like you guys, can't do all of them. This is just you guys just take it on yourselves. But honestly, I think that's like, what about Rockcut Troggoths? You know, what about like loads of the death stuff? No, they're not called the Morghast. The guys that are in charge. Bixbox champ. Let's do that. Should we do that? I'm going to book that in. Demon Prince Day. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a day where we all hang out on the Twitch stream and we do our own Demon Prince Day. Yeah, build our own Demon Princes from whatever you got, and then I will give away a prize for the best Demon Prince. Done. That's the plan. We're going to do that as a little community together. Prize. I still have those Space Marines tanks and Necromunda train to get to you. I have. Oh, nice. Message me, Valadium. Please do. So you guys up for Demon Prince Day? Yeah, let's do it. I'm up for that. Okay. So I would pick up Archaon, Demon Princes, and I would pick up Chaos Marauders if I was going to get into Chaos generally. Now, that, again, do you want to play Slaves to Darkness? If you want to play Slaves to Darkness, all those work inside there. And beyond that, I suppose the big one is, do you want to play Varangard? Because those, I don't think you can give them keyword at the start of the game, can you? When you select this unit to be part of your army, you must give it one of the following marks of chaos. Oh, nice. So you now, because you didn't use to be able to, you now can put Varangard in any of the other armies as well. Well, there you go. They're just way better than Chaos Knights. So just take 5 wounds with a 3-up save, 10-inch move. Their horses aren't very good, and their attacks aren't. 3 attacks each, so 9 attacks for a unit of 3. 3 3s run 1d3 damage. Sure. I mean, you can improve that quite a lot with the different armies. Basically, if they got +1 to hit. Yeah. So Varangard, the Varangard are in there as well. So look, that's a pretty good. Like, so you could take Archaon, Chaos Marauders, and Varangard, which is your battle line in the Chaos Marauders, Varangard, and Archaon. And you can literally, with that army, if you buy that, and a Demon Prince or 2, you can give them the keyword of any of the Chaos Gods, and you can play that army one day as a Tzeentch army, one day as a Nurgle army. Like, you could just literally play it as every army in the game. So that has to be like, and then you can buy all the different terrain pieces and prayers or what? Not the prayers, because I don't think any of them are priests. Big sticker shock on those Varangard though. Yeah. So the Varangard though are deeply expensive, very expensive, and they suck. Yeah, Twitch really. I promise I'll ban Tom from being able to. So That's an amazing army, actually. Well, like the utility, you buy Archeon, you buy the Varangard, which is super expensive, agreed, and the Chaos Marauders, Demon Prince, and you've got no. You can just use that in 5 armies. Wow, wow! Like that for your money is a great little shout, I would say. Now, obviously, you can do keyword all of the other Safe to Darkness stuff as well. So, Chaos Lord on Manticore is not particularly good, but Chaos Sorcerer Lord on Manticore is better. So, if you wanted to pick that up, Chaos Sorcerer Lord on Manticore. The Gaunt Summoner of Tzeentch is really cool because he just immediately puts something free on the board. So if you wanted to pick him up, he's good. So he gets a tick from me. Dark Oath War Queen is a no from me. Just Chaos Sorcerer Lord is a no. I'd probably put it the one on the Manticore. So that's a yes for me, the Manticore version. Then you got the Chaos Lord on Demonic Mount, who is a worse version of the Karkadrak, and I wouldn't take that unless I was taking Chaos Knights, and I probably wouldn't take those either. Chaos Chosen. If you wanted to take Chaos Chosen, you can make them very killy. You can get stack. Chaos Lord on foot can be great. Why? Give me a reason why you would take the guy on foot. You can use command ability at the start of the combat phase. If you do so, pick one friendly mortal slave startness unit wholly within 12 inches. And the unit can be selected to fight for a second time if it's within 3 inches. Okay, no apologies. The Chaos Lord on foot can be very decent. Oh wow, and he's such a huge bonus to all the different armies. Chaos Lord on foot. Okay, Stone Hewer, you win the prize today so far. Thank you. Chaos Lord on foot is like just a need, I think. Does that stack Varangard? No, it doesn't specifically stack with Varangard. Because they both, it doesn't stack. I could go through it, but yeah. Rob, if you're doing a yes/no list, could you put it on the website? Yes, I just have to remember what I said. But I'm trying to write it down, so yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult, I think. Yeah, I'll do that later on. Stacks with Archeon though. It says learn trade play. It does stack with Archeon. So you can make Archeon pile and attack twice. Then if he's killed, he can use his command ability to make himself attack. Or similarly, you can make a unit pile and attack twice with the Chaos Lord, and if that unit dies and as the Slave Darkness keyword, Archeon can make them pile in. So it does stack with Archeon. So there is a way to do 3, but it does require the unit to die. So, swings and roundabouts. Chaos Lord on foot. Okay, he goes in the list. But yeah, Tristan, I'll try and put that on the site, or I'll make a list and I'll try and get someone to make a prettier version of it. Maybe John will sort it for me because he is Bay. Chaos Warriors and Knights. Chaos Warriors and Knights I would not pick up, which breaks my heart. I'm really sorry. Like, maybe I would if I was also going to take a War Shrine. If I was going for a tanky defensive build, I would maybe go that way for Slaves to Darkness. Now, I would definitely pick up Be'lakor, horrible model. So I would, again, try and do a different Be'lakor. But Be'lakor, rules-wise, I would want to pick it up. Neither the Slaughter Brute nor the Mutalith Vortex Beasts are decent enough to pick up, but you can have an incredibly fun time running 4 Mutalith Vortex Beasts. And anyone who says it's different is a liar, yeah? Because you just want to roll all the... Basically, what you're looking to do, because the Vortex Beast now is 160 points, maybe. Hi, Wargaming Dad. Okay, Tristan. Yeah, all right. Yeah, well, that's the point of the show this week, right? So a buying guide. Okay. Does anyone fancy helping me and writing out all of the units into a spreadsheet or into a page? Because that's the bit that's going to really slow me the fuck down. Right? Because I'm going to have to write out every unit in the game and then put a yes, no next to it. So if anyone could do that, that would be sweet. Because that's a lot. Tristan, that's rad. Thanks, man. That would be wicked. All right, sweet. Fuck yeah, you babe. So I'll put that up on the website. As soon as you get that done, I'll get that done, and we'll get it up on the website. Right. Yeah. So look, if you take 4 Mutant Vortex Beasts, are you going to win tournaments? No. Are you going to have a great time? Let me tell you why. Right. So it's got shooting attack, right, which is 18 inches. Yeah, the Aura of Mutation in your hero phase. So it's in your hero phase. It's for a Merry Christmas to you too. It's super hard to do because it's in your hero phase. So you have to be close enough. But if you do get it, you roll a dice. Yeah. Um, and some of them are not particularly good. Subtract 1 from run rolls is Trogbane's rubbish. Subtract 1 each from move characteristic, pretty good if you're playing those Mortek guard, but they're probably going to be where they need to be. But where you're looking to get is 6s. You're just fishing for 6s because it does d6 mortal wounds, and if any models are slain, you set up a chaos spawn. So just imagine just just throw in 6s, just looking to just generate spawn. Obviously, you've got to take it in a Tzeentch army. You could take it in a Slave Starters army as well. Nice. There's 2 versions. There's the Slave Starters Mutalist Vortex piece and the Mutalist Vortex piece of. Oh, nice. So you can just put him in a Slave Starters army. It's not a good choice, but it's a cool choice. So Mortek. I'm talking too fast now. The Mutalith Vortex Beast, it gets a yes from me. Vortex. The Slaughter Brute sucks. Don't take that. Slambo, get him if you want to say the word Slambo a lot. Dark Oath Chieftain, it's a no from me. Godsworn Hunt, no from me. All of the different stuff from Warcry is a no, with the exception, like gaming terms wise, with the exception of the Untamed Beasts, which for me is the 100% standout best unit or ally unit that you can take in Chaos at the moment. So it's up there for number 1 ally, the Untamed Beast, because of what it can do at the start of the game. I've been talking about it on the show for just ages. No one listens to me, but let me tell you, I've been right enough that people should. The new Warcry monsters, they're not even out yet. I would pick up none of them unless I was making some Demon Princes. But the Mindsealer Spheronax, you could potentially pick up because it could be really fun. Really hard to use, but it wouldn't be the first thing on my list. But it would be a fun addition to an army, very much so. The Chaos Chariots, the Gorby's Chariot, or the normal Chariot are okay. But they're very fun inside they're okay. I wouldn't pick them up unless I was planning on running chariots. They're not first on my list, so you would have to look deeper into them. Children says Be'lakor is a bad model proportion-wise. I agree. I wouldn't pick up Be'lakor. I would pick up something else and make it into Be'lakor. And then the Gauntlet Summoner on Disc of Tzeentch, I would 100% pick up, because if I ever planned on playing Tzeentch, it's just rad. And its ability to do stuff is really cool. It's a great model. So I think that is Slaves to Darkness done. But I will do the buying guide in conjunction with it. So yeah, all right, sweet. So that's Slaves to Darkness. Next up, I haven't got the bloody... Because just like everyone else, the Beasts of Chaos, which is the next thing I was going to pick up or talk about, I bloody forgot to get their Battle Tome artwork, so I haven't put it on the fancy overlay. And also finding them in high resolution, any pictures of the on the internet is not easy. Like, Games Workshop could really help out people who review stuff by putting up a database of their imagery to let people use, because people rip off their imagery anyway, so they might as well just be bros about it and put it up, right? But no, whatever. I'll just do it myself. So next up, we're going to talk about Beasts of Chaos. Is anyone interested in Beasts of Chaos? Where's my Twitch chat? There we go. If you pick up Gaunt Summoner, you're going to want to pick up a box of whatever you want to summon it with. Yes. So we're going to do Beasts of Chaos first, because I think start collecting Beasts of Chaos is, in my mind, the start collecting Slaves to Darkness box of your dreams. So it's got, inside of it, it's got either a Cygor or a Gorgon, so a monster. It has a Great Bray Shaman. It has 10 Ungor, and it's got 10 Bestigor. And I honestly don't think there's a better start collecting box set available for Chaos. I'm just going to double check. No. No, this is the value ticket. This is the start collecting Iron Jaws. What the hell? We've got a Christmas emoji. When did we get that? What the? Is that John Scrivens? Just being John Scrivens. When did we get that bad boy? Oh man. How do you make it a little Christmas hat? I've made a Santa Roblin. How do you even do that? Oh my god. That's great. All right. Was that you? How did you do it? It is me, but how do you make it? How can I use it? How do I use it? I want to use the Santa Roblin. Do you know what's really embarrassing? I just want to talk about the emojis for a minute. Not to give them any tips, but so I set up all of the emoticons for Warhammer TV while I was there, and they've never changed them, and they never use them. Like, most valuable unit is one of the best things that you can ever have. A cheeky first blood, 50-50. That's still my catchphrase. They've still got it up there. They've got so many more emoticons available to them than we do. And in the 2 years since I've left, all they've done is remove the one that had a Roblin on it. They haven't. Anyway, never mind. It's in there. Look in your lists. So how do I do it? I've just got the Honest Wargame. I've just got the Honest Roblin. So if I just press it, what happens? Chat. This is really derailing the show. Hold on. What if I refresh? Do I have to refresh it? Oh, wait. Did you design this? Because that's great if you did it. Oh, my God. How did you do it? Unlocked with channel points. Have I not got any channel points as the creator? Oh, my God. Modify your remote. How do I modify it? Come on, help everyone out. How do you modify? They're spreading. This is really derailed it. I thought it unlocked for everyone. Maybe. Oh, do you need channel points? Is it like a special thing? What the fuck does that mean? Sucker. Shit. Okay. I don't know how to unlock it. Haha holidays. Global. Oh, man. Okay, this is really derailing the show. I get it, but I really want them. Okay. Oh, boo. So if you do, I think you get it by donated bits, or if someone else donate bits, it gives out like a, copy and paste. Copy. I don't know how to do it. No, you can't copy and paste it. Anyway, all right, we'll move on. You guys, I don't know if anyone else cares in the chat, but I super care. 900 points to modify an emote. How do you get 900 points? How do you get points? What the fuck are points? No, by watching. Oh, you get points by watching. Oh, man. All right, nice. Well, congratulations, Tristan. I haven't watched myself. Rude. Watch for 5 minutes, plus 10 claim special bonus, plus 50 participates in raid, 250 follow the channel, 300 monthly first cheer, plus 500 grow a watch streak. Okay, so if you donate bits, you can. You can pump it up. If you watch, you get it. If we do a raid, we're gonna do a raid at the end of the show. If we do a raid, then you guys are gonna get 250 bits, not bits, but the things. Okay, I've got 760. You need to start watching your own stuff, Rob. Because then I know how bad it is. Anyway, let's get back. Tatterfishy's got one. All right, Tatterfishy. All right. Yes. Hey, Scrivo. Scrivo, have you seen that there's a Christmas one? If you've been watching, if you've got enough channel bits, if Twitch think I'm going to pay for a Christmas Roblin. Okay, Just the Stars. A raid is at the end of the show. Is at the end of the show. What I do is I send everyone who's watching to a different channel to raid it. It's a way of making people like organically like spread. So then you'll watch their channel for like 5 or 10 minutes. You might enjoy it. So then you'll be like, oh, cool, I'll go check that out. And then we jump over there. So it's pretty cool, man. You said a Croffy Tom Layton. Oh man, I'm so jealous. Gel is what I'm doing. We're going to spread like a disease. That's right. Twitch, you're an idiot. You got loads of them. Nice. Redeemed my highlight message. I don't know what that even means. I just burnt all my channel points. Wait, so you've got channel points for... Is that what you do when you redeem something? I'm going to have to Google this later. I'm a terrible Twitch streamer. I'm going to spend the day researching, and then tomorrow, we're fucking focusing. We're going to get real twitchy. That's going to be the plan. I'm getting hot. Getting too hot. I'm having too much fun. Right. Okay. It's new as of yesterday. Oh, really? Can you do how to use Twitch Show? Has someone else got done how to use Twitch Show? Because I would like to also know. Last night, the 64-year-old bouncer who works on the door of my nightclub was taking some photos for Christmas, and I wanted to get a photo of him because I've known him for like 17 years. He's the nicest dude in the world. But I got him to take a couple of pictures, and he did that old man thing when he's like, let's take a photo. He's like, it's great. Put the head back on. I'm not putting the head back on. I got away from watching this show yesterday. Oh, nice, Tatterfishy. All right, sweet. Oh, well, if I'm live more, you guys should get more watching points, I think. So we'll sort it out. Right, let's get back on with the show. Beasts of Chaos. Inix the Coon. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for subscribing. Mr. Hat. Where is Mr. Hat? Never too far away is Mr. Hat. Da-da. Mr. Hat. Right. So the Start Collecting Beasts of Chaos box is the best box you can collect. It's got the Gorgon it's in it, or the Cygor. Now, neither the Gorgon or the Cygor are particularly good, no matter how much you listen to Colonel Cabbage or anyone else who plays them. But, very Merry Christmas, Valadium. Drop me a message, bud. But is a great base for either for modeling. Basically, you get the monster for free. You probably are not going to take it, in my opinion. But you are going to use it for Demon Princes. You could use it for a Keeper of Secrets. You could use it for a Lord of Change. So it's a great anthropomorphic. I think that's the way I say it. But basically, it's a great human-shaped model that you can do a really cool other model from. So, Games Workshop just posted how to paint Demon Princes. All right. Well, don't paint that model, right? But the Bestigor and the Gore inside it, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, those, if you really wanted to, you could just use Gore as Chaos Marauders. Change my mind, right? You could just use those as Chaos Marauders. The Bestigor, you could completely use as Chosen if you really wanted to. They've got those great axes. I think it's only at a Games Workshop event where someone would get particularly pissy. But they're also awesome in that if you do play Beasts of Chaos, you can take either of the 4 warbands, the battalions, which you can take the Khorne keyword, you can get the Tzeentch keyword, the Slaanesh keyword, or the Nurgle keyword, if you take any of those battalions. And that Start Collecting box is fantastic. See you later, Cold Traps. It's sad to be poor. It is sad to be poor. I agree. That's how I feel. It's Ungors and Bestigors. Yeah, sorry, Ungors and Bestigors. But I would take that battalion box. I personally bought it 3 times, and I think that that's the magic number. You get a unit of 30 Bestigor, which on their own you would be spending basically the same money to do it. The Ungor/Ungor Raiders that you have in there you could use either as Chaos Marauders or as their own. Again, you need them for those battalions. So if you wanted to collect Beasts of Chaos, there's no way, in my opinion, you wouldn't get 3 of this box. It just starts out. It's your battle line units. It's your big combat block of 30 Bestigor. It's the perfect box, and it's super usable in every other army. So for me, it's a no-brainer, and I would, if I were you guys, pick it up. So let's go look at the rest of the Beasts of Chaos and see what the hell. Beasts. Is it Beasts of Chaos? Okay. let's cycle through and have a look at the different things. So obviously, if you are playing Beast of Chaos, their herdstone, so their scenery piece is actually really impactful to their army. You've got a little Bray Shaman dancing around. He's going to sacrifice some gore on the barbecue pit. So you're going to take, in my opinion, you're going to get the herdstone. So that's a key buy in that army. Some of the other stuff. So Jabba Slides are really fun, but they're really old models. I probably wouldn't take it. Chimera, a bit of an old model, but I would 100% take. O'Reaper in the chat is just saying that he wouldn't take 30 best of gore. He'd take 3 units of 10. But either way, the point is, O'Reaper, is that you would get the box set, right? Like, it's... Has anyone else picked up the box set? No, because I saw the Cygor, the Gorgon model in the Start Collecting box for Beast of Chaos, and I was like, oh, I don't want that. So I'm just paying money for something I don't want. But as soon as you realise he's a Demon Prince or a Lord of Change or something with a bit of converting, you've got an amazing value box set, in my opinion. I know that the Cygor and Gorgon went down in points, but I still don't think that they're viable in any way. So, yeah, that's my answer to that. Chimera, though, is great for summoning if you're playing in Beast of Chaos. It's got a mortal wound shot. I'd like to see more Chimeras on the board, really. But I think if they got any cheaper, they'd be a bit too good. They're about right points-wise. But you can pick up the Chimera. It's a plastic kit. I think it's great for summoning. It's a really cool model. So, yeah, I'd pick up the Chimera. I wouldn't pick up Warhounds, nor would I pick up Razor Gores, unless I was picking up 30 to 50 Razor Gores. And then that's a meme. Now I need a couple of models from... yes, I have 3, says Idiot Wind. Now I need a couple of models from Tzeentch, Khorne, Nurgle, and I have 4 armies for the price of 1. Yeah, so that's exactly what I would do. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, you go for Archeon, and then Varangard, Chaos Marauders. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is to go for the Beastie version. And obviously you can do it via these Start Collecting boxes. Now, Centaur... yeah, the Chimera is great to summon. Colonel Cabbage, I mentioned you earlier. Name dropped you. I'm glad you're back here. So Centaurs, they're available. But would I get them? Would I not get them? They're really good for what they do as cavalry. But if you're playing Beast of Chaos, maybe I'll pick them up. But I don't think I'd pick them up for any other reason. Now, Dragon Ogre Shaggoth and Dragon Ogres. They are not decent in the game, but you could pick them up. They're not bad. They're middling, in my opinion. So the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth's a bit of an old model, but it's cool. It's a wizard. It's really fun. But you would be building the army. If you were building those, you can just attach them into a Beast of Chaos army. But if you're getting them, you're definitely running the Beast of Chaos Allegiance. The Beast of Chaos Allegiance doesn't really have a lot of love. I would have liked to have seen the Dragon Ogres and Dragon Ogre Shaggoth got cheaper, but very much like I did at the start of the show, people tend to forget Beast of Chaos exist, I think. The Chaos Gargan, now you can always pick up a Chaos Gargan, but and inside Beast of Chaos is pretty good. If you really wanted it to be, it's not bad, but it's not as good as the Destruction Gargan. Yeah, you could put Centaurs in Nurgle. You can put Centaurs in Nurgle with a native +1 to hit, and you could put Blades of Putrefaction on them, and you genuinely have a really scary unit. They're an old model range, though. They're not particularly attractive. A lot of people get Chaos Knights, and then they cut off the head of the horse, and they put a either Bestigor or an Ungor body on top of it to make some like nicer looking Centaurs. Is what a lot of people do. The Cockatrice, I wouldn't pick up. Now, they got cheaper. Bulgors and a Doom Bull. Now, if you wanted a competitive army, I wouldn't pick them up. But if you wanted the rad army, a Warherds army, this is what you're talking my language now. You get a couple of Doom Bulls, you go for the Bulgors, you max them out because they can become battle line, and you just go all the way. You go full beast mode, and you just run. We've talked about Gore's Bestigor and Ungor. We've talked about the Bray Shaman because you'll already get that in the Start Collecting box. The Beast Lord is unfortunately not something I pick up. Now we get to the really weird part of the book where you've got the Zangor Shaman, the Skyfires, and the Enlightened, and the base Zangor. Now, the Zangor Shaman is a definite. So I would get the Start Collecting box a couple of times. I would get the Endless Spells and the Terrain piece for Beast of Chaos. And then I'd pick up the Zangor Shaman because he's a better caster than the Bray Shaman. The Bray Shaman's got a great spell, though, Devolve, which maybe the Zangor Shaman can take as well. No, it's on his War Scroll. Let me just check. It is on his War Scroll. So the Zangor Shaman is awesome. You 100% want to take the Zangor Shaman. You 100% want to take his Endless Spell, or the Endless Spell, the Wildfire Taurus. But the other spells are also really good. So he's just really, really good. Also, you can use him in a Tzeentch army, or he's one of the best allies you can take. You could put a Zangor Shaman as an ally into Slaves to Darkness. You could ally it into most of the other Chaos armies. And then, as Colonel Cabby says, the Khorne Battalion. Oh, my throat. The Khorne Battalion is great for giving Bulgor's reliability, but Garshnak is an auto-include. Okay, let's go and have a look. Garshnak Fellhoof. So he is a wizard, and this is not the Warcry Warbrand, again, Underworlds. Savage Bolt has a casting value of 7. It successfully casts picking enemy with an 18 in the caster that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. In addition to the end of the next combat phase, add 1 to hit rolls or attacks made with melee weapons that target that unit. Wow. That's really decent. That's really good. Warhammer Underworlds. Sorry. That's good, decent. Cast on a 7, though, so that's hard to do. Savage Bolt. 18 inches as well. But +1 to hit could be really strong for the rest of the army. Attacks me with melee weapons that target that unit. Because your army is effectively a melee army, more than anything. So your Bestigor are going to be getting +1 to hit. You could be getting another +1 to hit on your Centaur. Okay, so Garshrak Fellhoof is in there. So if you're going for characters, I'm picking up a Zangor Shaman, Garshrak Fellhoof and his Underworld's Warband, and I'm also picking up the Bray Shaman, but the Bray Shaman's already getting in. So that's pretty good. Can it be an ally? What can it be an ally to? Oh, that's a great ally. Ally table. Garshrak is going in. Because for allies at the minute, I've got... where's all my notes? Nurgle, he was the fixed Blight Kings before the recent change. So for me, I think the best allies are the Zangor Shaman. This guy's really up there. Zangor Shaman. Sham. Garshrak. He's great. Garshrak. And then also the Epitome. Epitome, in my opinion, is a baller one. Is he not out yet? Is he out? Ally him into a god army, and now you have +1 to hit spell that works on anything. Can everyone take Beast of Chaos as allies? Is that correct? Can someone just check the chart for me? I need in Bangor in Northern Ireland now to move all the stuff. Go on, Pete Pratt. The Exploding Dice Club is expanding in Northern Ireland and going to a new venue. It's pretty rad. Okay, so I think we've covered... Oh, no, we haven't. So Zangor Skyfires, Zangor Shaman, Zangor, and Zangor Enlightened. Now, previously, the really competitive builds had Zangor Enlightened in because they were super cheap, and they were built in. So did Zangor Fire, Zangors. I actually am going to not comment on them at the buying guide for Christmas because the Tzeentch book is no longer being sold online, which means a new Tzeentch book is coming. Now, all of these units are keyword Tzeentch, and the Zangor specifically one of the big battle line units for the Tzeentch book. So I would argue that all of those are going to have a War Scroll change or at least a points change. And so I don't think I could give you any good advice on what to pick up for Tzeentch without seeing the new book. So I'm not going to. So I'll leave them out. Previously, those are the things that you would take. But also, I don't know. How about this? Before I picked up any Enlightened or Skyfires or Zangor, I picked up 3 Start Collecting boxes for Beast of Chaos because they're cheaper to put into tons of other armies, right? and Tatafishy. So basically, Beast of Chaos units are good as long as you don't use them with Beast of Chaos. You can use them with Beast of Chaos, but they do generally work better as other armies, and it's a better starter collecting box than Slaves to Darkness. That's the overall, I think. Happy with that? Good. But Colonel Cabbage in there with the Garshrak, big shout, +1 to hit spell. The spells, I'm going to quote my friend Parr here. The spells are really tough because it's one of the least reliable ways of doing buffs. You've obviously got abilities that just happen. You've got prayers. Oh no, command abilities that are just resource based. Then you've got prayers, which is 3+, sometimes rerollable. Then you've got spells, and spells are the least reliable thing to happen going off. But it's still a pretty good shout. How cheap is Garshrak? That's what I want to know. Let me know his cheapness. Okay, next up, let's talk about Nurgle. Nurgle. I'm rating the Nurgle. Castle 7 has to be 18. He's 140 points. It's quite expensive. It's quite expensive. But if I really want that +1 to hit, then maybe. Right. Okay, next up, in the house, Nurgle. Okay, so start collecting box, Nurgle is, there it is. So it's Plague Bearers, it's a Herald, it's 10 Plague Bearers, it's 3 Plague Drones of Nurgle, it's a Herald of Nurgle, talked about that, and it's 3 bases of Nurglings. So, okay, let's talk about Nurgle. So this is a real tough spot as an army when you're talking through Nurgle. Obviously, Archeon is now in Nurgle, yeah, and he's really good. Let's talk about some of the builds that people skip the Demon Starter. Yeah, let's start top down and let's go through it really quick. Archeon, if you've already decided you're taking him, we don't need to have that conversation. Other stuff that you're going to take. So Thricefold Thricefold Befoulment, which is a battalion, which has got even cheaper since the update, requires you to have 3 great and clean ones, and almost always it's 2 great and clean ones, and it's Rotigus, this named character. Rotigus has got a great spell which works in conjunction with the allegiance ability for Nurgle, so you're able to do mortal wounds in AoE to a lot of units at the back of the field. So that's a 3 more crusher build. It's a cool little army, doesn't require this starter box. So you would potentially be picking up 3. That takes up a large portion of your army. You then get bonuses to demons. So you might look at the demon start collecting box. But the Plague Bearers of Nurgle are outshone. 200 points until Xmas Roblin. Go on, you've got it, De Templar. Pete Pratt says. So Pete, as a big Nurgle player, is helping me out. Harbinger, Festus, Blight Kings, Blight Cyst, done. So those are the things he would pick up from Nurgle. Pete, come on. Some people like running the Thricefold. Do I think it's the best army in the world? No. Have people done quite well with it? Yes. Is it a great opportunity for modelling and painting? Yes. So that would be the 2 great and clean ones and the Rotigus. It's really fun. You can run around and you can have a laugh. Like it's an easy army to paint. But you've got lots of opportunity to try really hard. It doesn't require loads of like tactile movement on the tabletop, so it's a thing, right? Is Nurgle another army that could get an updated book? I know it was written for 2.0 in mind, but again, End of Spells in a book. I think the points reductions that we saw, and the rules changes, most importantly, not points reductions. The rules changes. No, they did get points reductions as well. The rules changes and points reductions that we saw mean I reckon that a Nurgle book, if we're going to get one, is far enough away that we can make some decent decisions. Yes, Pete, that's a good point. Pete loves Thricefold Battalion, but so many armies shut down magic and they do it really well. So it's a good argument. The biggest point is would you get the start collecting demons and Nurgle? My answer would be no. Plague Bearers are outshone by, I'll start the list, but we could go on forever. Daughters of Cain, Witch Elves specifically, but Sister Slaughter as well. They're more survivable than the Plague Bearers, and they do more damage. Fire Slayers, more survivable, do more damage. Phoenix Guard, more survivable, do more damage. They're just not as good as they once were, those Plague Bearer blocks. And more importantly, they might be as survivable as they ever were, but they do not do the damage back to clear objectives or clear the unit that they're fighting. So they normally lose the attrition game. Add Glotty to that, and your kings are now 4 attacks, rend 1, potential blades for more wounds. So we'll talk about him in a moment. So would I get the Start Collecting box for Nurgle? No, I would not. Would I get... It's a great question, because a lot of people don't really remember this. Would I get the Skaven Pestilence Start Collecting box? The answer is maybe I would, because I can use it in my Skaven army. The Plague Monks that are in it, as discussed, are not bad. And the Plague Furnace that's also inside of it, which I think that's a dual kit, right? That's the Plague Furnace or the Screaming Bell. Could either be either of those two, but the Plague Furnace, and all of those have got the Nurgle keyword. And, oh yeah, thank you, I won't do. It's got it's a better Start Collecting box because it's got better units in it than the Nurgle one. And the new Plague Monks are good. Yeah. Have you no shame, Rob? I'm not saying Plague Bearers Plague Bearers are deadly as ever. They definitely are. But Start Collecting Rotbringers now, 5 Bleak Kings, 2 Puskulls, and there isn't one of those, is there? Oh, Pete Pratt wants to Start Collecting. So they've all got the keyword Nurgle, which means you can use that in a Nurgle army, and it's a better... It's got some of the things that the Nurgle army lacks. Specifically, damage output is what the Nurgle army lacks. So it's a good Start Collecting box if you wanted to buy anything. Okay. So we've talked about the Demon Princes, not Demon Princes, the Great Demons. So Rotigus and Great Unclean One. I would say if you're going to buy them, Rotigus is a wicked shout. The Great and Clean Ones themselves, I don't think are as good, but you could maybe use them. Haley Bromley, what's going on? Wait, it is a thing now? Wait, there's a Rotbringers. Excuse me. There is not a Rotbringers Start Collecting. Rotbringers. Is there? There isn't, Pete. Not unless I see it. Well, it's not on the website, which is why, I didn't bring it up in my show notes. Start collecting. Has anyone got a link to it? Not on the Start Collecting site. Start collecting. Let me just double check. Oh yeah, because Jonathan bought one. Saves to Darkness. Has anyone got a link? Because that's a great shout. I'm sorry that I messed this up, boys. Start collecting Maggotkin. All right. Okay. All right. Let's have a look. What do we get inside here? You get okay. All right, so you get 2 Puskull Blight Lords. Ah, sad face. And you get 5 Blight Kings. And you also get the Harbinger. All right, okay. Okay, that's a good start. All right, okay. Okay, now I have to process this. Scream Bell Lightning Cannon from the Pestilent box. Yeah, exactly. Laughing, and then you've got a better army. All right, I hadn't seen this, or I'd known about it, but I'd forgotten, and I'm sorry about that. Okay, would I take this? The Puskull... No. I still wouldn't get it. Come on, the Blight Lords are not very good. The Blight Kings are good, though, but I wouldn't get... It wouldn't be in my, start collecting for Nurgle. Would it be anyone else's start collecting for Nurgle? Nah. It's a good box, though. Don't get me wrong. It's something you can get if you wanted... a nice thing in the army. And Blight Kings are way better now than they were beforehand. But you're paying a tax, I think, for the Puskull Blight Lords, which I do not think are decent, unless anyone disagrees with me in the chat. So, okay, that's a good thing. And so, yeah, and that kind of talks about Blight Kings. I'd pick up Blight Kings. At the minute, I wouldn't pick up Puskull Blight Lords. They're rad models. Oh, sorry, they've got great personality. To quote from yesterday. Okay. The other units. that are available. So the big ticket items, the Glotkin, no. Now he's not survivable enough, which is silly, right? He's got 18 wounds with a 4-up save, but he's too many points. He's got a great command ability. Um, he's got a great spell lore. He's a 2-cast wizard, but that 18 wounds is going to drop so quickly. And their ability to heal inside Nurgle is fairly weak. I just don't think the Glotkin, he's too expensive at the minute. Thank you very much, Laughing. I appreciate you finding me the link. He's too expensive, so I wouldn't take it. They still haven't lowered him. Yeah. So Glotkin is currently a no until he gets cheaper. So I'm out on the Glotkin. And that's true for Orgots Demon Spew, Blowbrot Spawned, and Morbidex Twice Spawn, which are the really cool the kind of what were they called when they came out? I forgot yeah, anyway, there's the 3 Maggot Riders. What were they called when they first came out? They had a name, the little trio. I forget it. It's from the end times anyway, and they're wicked. I've got them painted up over there. I love them. They're never gonna see play. They're not cheap enough. They need more love. You're not gonna take them. So the Maggot Lords, thank you, Bling Marine. Yeah, the Maggot Lords. They're wicked cool. They're wicked cool. And maybe they could be your Demon Princes. So you could pick them up, Demon Prince Ho. So those could easily be your Demon Princes, although they're on different base sizes. So you have to, deal with that for yourself. So next up, Epidemus, Tallyman of Nurgle. Wouldn't pick him up. Poxbringer, Herald of Nurgle. Wouldn't pick him up. Spoilspox Scrivener, the Herald of Nurgle. Sadly, also no. But I would pick up Sloppity Barpiper. Do you know why? Because I just want to use Sloppity Barpiper and say it many times. But again, he's a character that you don't really need. But if you wanted a really cool looking model, you could pick him up. Plague Bearers, as discussed, no. Plague Drones, no. Is there anything I am going to pick up? That's what I'm going through. Horticulate Slimmux, no. And then Beasts of Nurgle. Why have they got the old Beasts of Nurgle image in the app and not the new one? Also, it's because no. There's a really cool battalion you could take Slimmux and some Beasts of Nurgle in, and you could put down the terrain piece, the Feculent Gnarlmaw, which is awesome. You should absolutely, and you have to pick that up, and you can put multiple Feculent Gnarlmaws down, so you have to get like 2 or 3. I don't know why. Scrivo, so I need Blight Kings for my Nurgle Demons then. Well, it's not Nurgle Demons. That's the problem. It's Maggotkin of Nurgle. So it's very much like when we go and talk about Khorne, you probably are going to pick up a lot of the Khorne Demons and not a lot of the Khorne Mortals. So it's like the Mortals are good in Nurgle, the Demons less so. And a lot of that's to do with points as opposed to anything else. However, the Harbinger of Decay is fantastic and an absolute great model. Really survivable, and I'd pick him up. He's got a great command ability, which is you can use command ability in your hero phase. If you do so, until your next hero phase, roll dice for each time you allocate a wound or a mortal wound to a friendly Nurgle mortal unit within 7 inches. On a 5+, that wound is negated. So that's really big. Horticulate Slimmux is also worth it just for the name. Tatafishy, agreed. He's really cool. Then you've got the Sorcerer, again, good because it's access to be able to cast Blades of Putrefaction from that Sorcerer because he's a mortal and it's a mortal Nurgle unit that has to cast Blades of Putrefaction. But again, you could take a Chaos Sorcerer Lord on Manticore or a Chaos Sorcerer Lord from Slaves to Darkness. That would be a mortal Nurgle unit because you're giving it keyword Nurgle and then you cast Blades of Putrefaction. Now, Gutrot Spume, I wouldn't pick up straight off the bat because, but he's really cool if you can take Blight Kings because you can get them on. But I would pick up Blight Kings, Lord of Plagues. I wouldn't pick up unless you took Darren's Lord of Plagues build to pew stuff. So you need Sorcerer, Glotkin, or Festus. Yeah, but I would take but you would take Festus. And I would potentially pick up Festus. He's a very cool model, but he is resin, so that's a bit gross. So it's not very, very viable. Oh, Festus. Come on. Where are you? Anyway, yeah, Festus is good. Basically, there he is. Um, he's mortal. He's got his own spell, Curse of the Leper. He's pretty. He's good anyway. So take Festus. I would pick up Festus because if nothing else, you could use him as a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle. So there's no reason you couldn't use him in your Slaves to Darkness army and just go, he's a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle. So I'm like, he's Festus. I'm like, I'll say it one more time. He's a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle. She's like, come on, man. All right. So that, or you could also get Tap Khan. I would not get him. But I would, if I was playing Nurgle. This is a really sad state of affairs. Look, I think if you're going to play Nurgle, Nurgle Demon Prince from Slaves to Darkness is now a must-take inside Nurgle. But again, he benefits mortals, so the command ability on the Demon Prince is going to affect mortals. So your Nurgle demons, would you say Festus is the bestest? I'm going to write that down. He is. Festus is the bestest. Right. How long have we been doing this? The internet's held out for a while. It's pretty decent. I don't know if my throat's going to... what about the Plague Toads and the Nurgle Ogres from Forge World? No and no. Neither of them are decent, but you could make some cool conversions from them. I wouldn't buy them for their rules, which is... so I think I've started to define what we're doing. Are you buying something for its rules, yes or no? Whether or not those rules can even be fun, like we talked about with the Thricefold Befoulment or the Triple Maw-Crusher build, some of them are really fun, like the Beast of Chaos, Horticulux Slimux, and the Battalion. Really cool rules, not very competitive, but fun. And then some of them, like Blight King's, more competitive, and then you've just got stuff for models. And then that's down to you. If you like it, I can't make that decision for you. Is that correct? So let me just go to Demon Prince. Demon. Is Demon with an... Oh. I'm going to put in Prince. There won't be many of those. Saves to Darkness, Demon Prince. Command ability. Demon Prince... if you do so, pick one friendly Saves to Darkness Nurgle unit wholly within 12 inches of this model. Yeah, so Bloated Blessings. So if what you wanted to do, you could take a unit of Chaos Marauders. You could give them keyword Nurgle. And they have the Slaves to Darkness keyword, and they also have the Nurgle keyword. So the command ability from Bloated Blessings you would be able to use inside a Nurgle Allegiance. Yeah, Stonehewer. Yeah, you get that. You get that Christmas emoji. Woohoo! So you'd be able to do that command ability still inside the Nurgle Allegiance, if that makes sense. So does the Nurgle Mortals include Beasts of Chaos units in Nurgle? No, it does not. Since we're basically using dating Tinder analogy, can we just say swipe left or right on units? Yeah. Christmas hat chat gang. Let's go. Get one of these. Man, honestly, I dressed in Santa last night. You get a weird, creepy sort of power from dressing as Santa. I don't know what it is. And I do not want to access that dark side of myself ever again. Not until next Christmas. Scrivo, I've debated getting the new Slave Darkness collecting box to add to my Nurgle. Don't do that. Get the Beast of Chaos box instead. I hate the Beastmen don't count as mortals. Just pretend that they are. Like, who's going to start? Just be like, look, these dudes are Chaos Marauders. They'll be like, no, they're beasts. Be like, I'll say it one more time, Chaos Marauders. Like, it's fine. Like, chat gang. I always get made to dress as an elf. I wonder what that says about our respective personalities with our allowed costume choices. Well, I think because I run the club night, I have to dress as Santa. I don't think I get any choices. I have to be the Santa. And then I make the doorman dress as a reindeer. So I don't have any elves. I'm working too hard. Plus, I think everyone should be Santa. Okay. Right. Let's do the only 3 left. Wondering if I can do 3 more. Yeah. Okay. Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm going to try it. I just don't want to run out of steam and it be a bit like boring. You're like, oh, he's just reining in the last two. Oh, well, phoning in. That's the one it's called, isn't it? Okay, so next up, Slanesh. Let's do it. Okay. We're doing Slanesh, and it's happening. Formerly the bad guys. They're not the bad guys anymore. You can play Slanesh, that's fine. Okay. They have a starter collecting box. Of course they do. Of course they do. And it's a great one. If you wanted to play the demon version of Slanesh, you're going to probably always need... what are those ladies called? Oh, I forgot to mention in Nurgle, you're going to... Oh, no, I did. You need the Feculent Armor. So let's start off with the terrain piece, the Fane of Slanesh. You're going to pick that up. If you're going to play... and you absolutely 100% should pick up the Endless Spells. The Endless Spells are wicked. All three of them are really good. It's very rare. Normally there's like one or two, but all three of the Endless Spells are very, very good. So definitely pick up that. So the Start Collecting box, it's got Hellstriders, it's got Demonettes, and it's got a Chariot. You need 30 Demonettes at some point. Do you want additional Chariots and Hellstriders? I'm going to go for yes. Hellstriders are normally taken in their battalion for making it a low drop. So are Demonettes, and normally it's a range of characters. The build up until this point has been maxed out characters, so normally 2 or 3 Keepers of Secrets, Celeste or Ilesk. Shelaxi has also been taken as well, Contorted Epitome. So all of those are just guaranteed includes in that kind of like competitive top tier army. The Chariots, though, are still very good, and you can absolutely take the Chariots. They do mortal wounds on the charge. So I would say that 3 start collecting boxes for Slanesh is not a bad play if you wanted to go down that demon route. You could also, obviously, our previous bought Beast of Chaos box could go into our triple Beast of Chaos box, could be bought, put into our battalion, and then it could be pushed forward into as the battle line units for the Slanesh. They all have keyword Slanesh in the Depraved Drove. Then they could be used in that. So would you get 3 of these if you wanted to collect Slanesh? Absolutely. Would it be a waste of money? Nothing. Everything there is absolutely usable and really good. Yeah. So paint the Beastmen in generic scheme too, so they can be used for all. Yes, 100%. And then, honestly, it's the best. Like, or you do the Archeon Varangard Chaos Marauder build, and you just laugh in. So yeah, Start Collector box is really, really good. Really good. Next up, let's look at the units then. So we definitely get the Endless Spells as well. They're all good. They're really good. The Mirror's dumb. Why does no one ever talk about Slanesh Mortals? I think it's because the Keeper's Secrets are just very, very good. And it's also because the bonuses for Slanesh that you get are not particularly strong. For taking the keyword... yeah, they don't get the heat. Oh, that's a good point, Colonel Cabbage. They don't get the Hedonite Sleep keyword. They get the Slanesh keyword, and most of the buffs benefit Hedonites. Yeah. Also, we chose to ignore the White Dwarf Mortal Battalion. We did, and it is better to give mortals another mark traditionally. Right. So monsters are not monster arcanum. So we're taking the terrain piece and the spells. Let's look at the characters. So the thing that you're definitely taking is a Keeper of Secrets. Now, if you want to get 2, you could take a Keeper of Secrets and Shelaxi Hellbane. It can either be so Beast box, best box, SW Legion Command. It is the best box. For if you want to get into Chaos, if you've not played Chaos before, I don't see how it's not. Because we talked about, like, so if you buy one, what's it called? Keeper of Secrets box, you have all the spare bits for Shelaxi Hellbane. That Shelaxi Hellbane bits can be put into that Gorgon or Cygor to make a Keeper of, a Beast Keeper of Secrets. And then you've got another one. So that one box plus the Start Collecting box is a huge addition. So you basically could, kit bash 2, really. Um, so I think you're always going to pick up because most importantly, the command ability on a Keeper of Secrets is the pile in and attack twice command ability, so excess of violence, and it can do that on itself or it can do that on units around it, and that is the big ticket item for Sinesh. The locus, we talk about the locus a lot, but if a Keeper of Secrets charges and they're super fast, they start out at movement 14. So they're already really quick, so they're more than likely getting the charge off. It doesn't matter whether or not you're striking last or doesn't strike last. It does matter, though, that they can pile an attack twice. That's huge. So Keeper of Secrets is the future. So you pick up one of those. Contorted Epitome, up there for the best ally in Chaos, in my opinion. It's dumb good. It's a 2-cast wizard. Really strong, can cast in the spells, can reroll casting, can reroll umpires, 2-up save against mortal wounds. Definitely the next thing you're picking up. Celeste, you maybe would pick up. I'm not too stressed about Celeste. Normally you see Celestial lists just for another cheaper version of a character. But if you want to run Celeste's host, you're definitely going to pick up Celeste. The mask is fine. Normally taken just in the Supreme Cyberites. Best wizard in the game is potentially the Contorted Epitome for his points, but then the Grey Seer is really good. Lee Bromley is really good. Took it in my Asgore list. Yeah, like that was my suggestion a while ago, right? Like the Epitome, because he's got access to, so he's got the Heat Knights keyword, so he can run the endless spells, and the endless spells are just crazy as well. So the Contorted Epitome as a dual cast wizard to ally in, but mainly because you can ally in their endless spells as well. It's got a great unbind, so if your army's lacking, I would include the Contorted Epitome, not only in the Sinesh army, as it's an auto-include in the Sinesh army. Yeah, the Templar. Yeah, Christmas hat chat gang. Everything else, Fiends are a no. Hellstriders are a yes. Demonettes are a yes. Seekers are a no. Oh, no, Seekers are a yes, sorry. The Chariots, absolutely, if you want to. Now, the Infernal Rapturous is really decent. I don't know if it's available yet to buy. I think it might be. Who are the non-Christmas Roblin peasants? Selesky is great if you're taking Beast, as he has the reroll hits bubble of 1 to make them more reliable. Yes, but it's Selesky. Now that's not untrue, but Selesky's movement 8, but not as fast as some of the other units. The Beast units are really good because the Bray Shaman, just being nearby, makes them go super fast. Honestly, the Beasts, it's criminal that the Beasts aren't as popular as they are. But I suppose maybe anyway, maybe these shows will change that around, right? Selesky is good. I'm not saying Selesky's not a no. Selesky's a yes if you want what it brings, right? Or if you want to run it in the host. Then the Rapturous is really, really good. And with that depravity, Scriffo Selesky is my only painted model. It's a really good model. All right, let's talk about it again, because some people really 9 wounds at 4-up save, so 8 depravity points in it, and fairly survivable-ish. Is decent in combat, absolutely, which is really good. Can run and charge. This unit can run and still charge, so could be going really, really fast with the bonuses in Slash as well for the charges and running. Could be going real quick. As you said, any Sinesh models, if you do so until the end of the phase, do not take battle shot tests for friendly Chaos Sinesh units while they're wholly within 18 inches model. Oh, wait, that's really good. So command ability, you can use command ability at the start of the combat phase. If this model is your general and is on the battlefield, if you do so, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 for friendly Chaos Sinesh units wholly within 18. Decent, but if you do so, in addition, you can use command ability at the start of the battle shock phase. If this model is your general and is on the battlefield, then Chaos Sinesh units wholly within 18 inches of this model do not take battle shot tests. That's wicked on those beast units. So again, if you want to run those beast units as a battle line and not demonettes, who are bravery 10, they don't really need it that much, then definitely you could use that. But those command points that you're going to use in the army are really important. And it's got a great spell as well. They've got Subvert, which is an enemy hero within 18 inches of the caster. That hero cannot use any command abilities until your next hero phase, which is huge. So, do you know what? Twitch chat, you've upped me. So it wouldn't be the first thing I buy, but it would be something I definitely buy. Sil'Eski, the Vengeful Allegiance. Idiot Wing, this makes me feel better about using Beast of Chaos as my first AOS army. Yeah. We're using the models, right? That's why Chaos is really good. It's the most cost-efficient army to play in the game. Want me a gaming dad and no Reaper? You've got, get your Christmas hat going out. So I think that's Sinesh. Like, there's not much to it. We've talked about a lot of the other units as well. They don't have tons of units. I'm just going to double check. We've talked about Archeon already. Archeon is my auto-include now in a Sinesh army. I think you're going to see Sinesh armies with Archeon in the future, but we'll see wait to see if that pans out. Then you got the mask. Yeah, you could take the mask, but I wouldn't be too stressed about the mask. Chariots, yes. Hellstriders, yes. So it's really, I'm just saying no to Fiends, is what I'm really saying no to from Sinesh, which is pretty great. Okay. We got it. We're on to Khorne. Oh, Skaven. We still got Skaven to do. So let's get our Khorne image up. Oh no, I've got to change it up. Whoop, whoop. So Khorne, let's go. Okay. So Blades of Khorne. So we've talked already infinitely about the Slaves to Darkness units and whether or not you pick them up. And that includes, like, Marauders work really well with some of the Khorne buffs. So I think you have to, if you're going to play Khorne, you have to pick up their terrain piece, and their endless spells, their endless prayers are a yes as well, their judgments. And that's because the first thing I would pick up in a Khorne army, not even looking at the start collecting box, would be Slaughter Priests. Probably 3. They are the best thing. Not the best thing in this book, but they're really strong. They've got Brazen Ruin. They've got Blood Boil. You can do 3d6 mortal wounds out of 3 Slaughter Priests, as well as they basically can do 3 prayers a piece if you build them right. So they can do Blood Boil, they can do Judgment. They're just really, really good. And their terrain piece benefits that. The Judgments benefits that. So the first thing I'd pick up is 3 Slaughter Priests, or a couple of Slaughter Priests. Maybe the third is a bit much, but I definitely would pick up 2. I just think that's the start, really. Oh, Jason D. Fluffer, thanks for subscribing for 25 months. Have we been raided? Oh, no, I hope we haven't been raided. What's this little raid icon? Tomb Raider. Oh, weird. Sinesh Archeon with an Xmas hat. That's what you want. Is the +1 to prayer, hit prayer, keyword locked? I don't know, bro. You'll have to check for me. Okay, so let's have a look. So that's how I would start it. And then start collecting box for Khorne is a Skull Cannon, which is a bit meh, I think. Although we have seen people running units of them, which is kind of interesting. Oh, Math Mallow, thanks for subscribing and joining the chat gang. Chat gang! And then you've got 10 Bloodletters in the start collecting box, and the 3 Juggernauts. So they got cheaper. Mr. Bridges, thanks for doing your cute little hat gang. So you've got 10 Bloodletters and 3 of the Juggernauts, but with the Bloodletters on. Now, for me, this is not the best because the Bloodletters are way worse than they used to be. There was a stage where Bloodletters were the thing. They were the bomb. They were radical. You could stack tons of attacks on them. They'd be doing mortal wounds on 6s. They'd just be deleting units. But they are not that anymore. And so you haven't seen them taken. Skull Cannons and the Skull Throne, which also that makes, is also not something that's very good either. So as a start collecting box, 2 of the 3 things that you get, I probably wouldn't take in an army. So for me, it's not the one. So it's not a very efficient box, and I probably wouldn't take it. Yeah, you're right, Restanti. Prayers are just a cheap tactic to make corn players pretend they're not casting magic. I'm not casting magic. I don't even like magic. Right. So let's go through the units then, and what we might take. So let's go. Let's go all the way big. Let's go Vagaroth, the Scarred Scallock, the Skull Host of Khorne. He's 1,200 points. In comparison to Archeon, he does a ton of damage. We saw Rodrigo at Adepticon last year go 5-1. So he won 5 games out of 6 at Adepticon with his Khorne Dragon. Is it dumb? Yes. Is it worth picking up and playing with? Again, if you're okay with that large model syndrome, fine. But you can win games with it. You're not going to lose every game with Vagaroth. So it's an option. The other stuff, Scarrick the Bloodborne from Forge World, who I own, so I love him loads. No, I would not take him, but great model. Mazra, and I was even writing some lists with him the other day. Still rubbish. What about the Khorne? I'm sorry, guys. Is there a Khorne Mortal start collecting box? Oh, there is. I don't know why it didn't come up. When I was doing start searching the start collectings earlier. Okay, so the Goreblade Warband. Thanks very much. So the start collecting box for this is Blood Secretor. Is that the only way to get a Blood Secretor? Does anyone know? Can you buy just a Blood Secretor? Let's just double check. Blood Secretor. Come on. You got to be able to just buy him individually on his own now. Oh, shut up. Shut up. Surely not. It's the only way. Oh, no. Show me the way. Okay. They're such difficult bastards. Right, yeah. So, Khorne. We're getting the terrain piece. Terrain. We're getting the prayers, and we're getting the priests. That's the start collecting. Now, this start collecting box, you got some Blood Warriors. I think it's 5 Blood Warriors. You're getting, yeah, I'd get the start collecting box because you're getting a bunch of stuff. So you're getting the Bloodstoker, you're getting the Blood Secretor, both of whom are really good in a Khorne army. You're getting a Korgrath, which is meh. And then you're getting the 10 Blood, oh God, what are they called? Reavers. In there as well, which are cool. You can use them as Marauders if you wanted to use them as Marauders, or you could use them as Blood Reavers. They're good as either one. And then you got the Mighty Lord of Khorne, who is not great. He's okay, depending if you want to have him in the list. But it's a good box. It gets you one. It gets you on your way to a Gore Pilgrims battalion. It does. If you wanted to run Gore Pilgrims, if you want to run a lot of models, you could get it. Multiples of it is not particularly sensible because you don't want the Korgrath or the characters in duplicate. So you could get one. So one start collecting box from this, but not the demon version. Okay. All right. Back to the things that we're doing. Ooh. Here's some close-ups. The army, the winner. Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, amazing. Okay, just heard some cool stuff from Ian Poppin. Amazing news because they had an event at the weekend, Warpgate GT, and they raised $590 at the Warpgate tournament for charity. How cute's that? And I've got some pictures. I'll talk about that later. I just had that sent to me, and I've also had. Okay, it gets you on your way to Gore Pilgrims. It does. Right, Khorne. Let's get this finished because I tell you what. I'm beginning to flag a tiny bit. Yesterday was a 22-hour day for me, so. But I'm enjoying these. Thanks for being here. You guys are rad. This is really cool. I'm really looking forward to doing these daily next. So it won't be this daily next year. We'll just be doing rundowns daily. But I think it'll just be quite fun. As discussed, would you get Archeon? Yes or no? He'd be great inside a Khorne army, as Jay showed me over at Exploding Dice. Mazrol the Butcher. I wouldn't get him, but. You can use his command ability to start your hero phase. Khorne unit dominated one. You can reroll wound rolls of 1 for attacks made by the unit until your next hero phase. Nah, I wouldn't take that. So I wouldn't take Mazrol the Butcher. Why would you buy Chaos when you could buy Sylvaneth? Oh, wait. Honestly, we're going to want to talk charity tourneys on Thursday. Yeah, that could be cool. That's a good subject. Yeah, let me. I've already got, obviously, the show on Thursday, but yeah, charity tourneys. Hold on, let me write that down. Let me drop you a message later. Or drop me a message later, charity tourneys. Okay. Because Ian, I'll see what else. I wonder if we could collate all the charity tourneys that have happened this year. Or charity this year. That's cute. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'll put a thing up. And Ian is saying we're sending it all to the Shriners all to the Shriners Hospital for Children this week. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. I think I'm saying that right, Ian. So the Warhammer community, this is Ian, have raised an event this weekend, which is the Warpgate GT. Raised $590 for a children's charity. Man, yeah, that's amazing. How cool is that? That's wicked. See you later, Idiot Wind. Okay. Right. So next up, would you take Korgraths? No, I would not take Korgraths, unfortunately, but they are really fun. I wouldn't take Skylar Angrathim ever. Now, the big ticket items, would you take Mighty Skull Crushers or would you buy Mighty Skull Crushers? And my answer now is 100% yes. You can build some dumb armies with the Mighty Skull Crushers. You can run like a unit of 10 of them, right? They've got 5 wounds each. I just want to say a big shout out to Jacob Berry of the Rage of Sigmar podcast, who was just like, Rob, you're missing it. Like, look at it. It's 150 points for 15 wounds with a 3-up save. They move 8. They do mortal wounds on the charge. If you'd have a unit 6 or more, they do D3 mortal wounds each. So if you have a unit 6, that's 6 D3 mortal wounds just on the charge that happen on 2+s. So on average, that's 10 mortal wounds on the charge before you do everything else. That's only 300 points. They can be battle line units. If you take the Mighty Lord of Khorne, or the Lord of Khorne on the Juggernaut, Lord of Khorne on the Juggernaut, they could be battle line. So that just means you can take in some chaff if you really want to. Honestly, it's a wicked build. And I think that they're a standout go-to for me at this stage, the Mighty Skull Crushers. So they're a definite. If you wanted to take an army, you could just buy boxes. I don't even know how much are the Skull Crushers. Obviously, I'm doing this all just off the Games Workshop website in the UK, so obviously it's all going to change up where you are, and also you can buy. It's 60 quid for 5. That's quite expensive, isn't it? No, 60 quid for 6. So that's 300 points as an army, as a unit. That's pretty good. So, and you buy them in 3s, so it's really 15 quid each 3, and you get them way cheaper somewhere else. Man, that is a really, really funky unit. Do they go? They do go in the Braster Spoilers formation. If you do them in the Braster Spoilers, then the mortal wounds that which they do on the charge, which happens on a 2+, happens automatically. So that mortal wound output from that unit of 6. So 300 points with, so that's 30 wounds with a 3-up save with no buffs. If they're in the Braster Spoilers and they charge, which is a really low drop army, by the way, is going to do 12 mortal wounds on the charge to the unit that it charges. Cheers to Bolt. I know nothing about OS, but join the chat in my ear. It'd be really cool to do this for 40k as well. I just don't think I've got the expertise anymore to necessarily make those calls. But maybe I could have someone on the show to do that with me, to make those calls. Anyway. Tafdan, thanks for subscribing. What up? Welcome to the show. Check gang. So Mighty Skull Crushers are now in my list. They might be one of the first things I go to now, looking at this army. Slaughter Priests benefit them, just like we talked about. It's just a really good purchase. And a unit of 6 is always going to be applicable in the army because it's only 300 points. And thanks for... Oh, Heinrad, didn't see you here. What up? Wrathmongers, I would no longer buy. I'm out on the Wrathmonger franchise. Tatafishy, thanks for the the Japanese. I don't speak any Japanese, but thanks. Also, Tatafishy, are you over in Japan? And if you are, get me over to the Rising Sun GT. Oh, that's his chat gang. Nice. Get me over to the Rising Sun GT. I want to cover it. I want to be the first one to cover the Japanese Age of Sigmar scene. It's just what I want to do. And I just think it'd be rad. Just Let's make it happen. Right, Blood Reavers, Blood Warriors. Blood Reavers you could pick up if you really wanted to. You could use them as Marauders. You could use them as Blood Reavers. They work really well. Blood Warriors are okay, but again, it's something you would look at, I think. Now, as talked about before, Bloodstoker, yes, really useful, really great buff. Works on Archeon, works on Demon Princes. I think still works on... No, it doesn't work on Demon Princes anymore. Khorne Mortal Unit. So it does still work on Archeon, because he's got the Mortal keyword, but it doesn't work on Demon Princes. Hi, Rad. I do want to tag along. Let's go. Man, that took me literally an hour to get my Prime to work to subscribe. Well, thanks, Taftan. Thanks for being on the show. Right, the Lord of Khorne on Juggernaut. As stated, I'd get it. Yeah, for me, I'm about... I think if you're going to commit to taking Blood Warriors or a load of Skull Reapers, who also I would leave out for the minute, that's quite a complicated army to put together. It takes a lot of nuance. You've got to paint a lot of models. The idea of the Lord of Khorne on Jug and then a Mighty Skull Crushers unit. So, you know, the Lord of Khorne on Jug and the Mighty Skull Crushers unit, if you get 2 boxes of the Skull Crushers and the Khorne, it's about 150 quid on the website, so it'll be way cheaper if you get any discounts, you know, from third-party retailers and stuff. And already you've got about 1,000 points of, like, monstrously good army in the Khorne bit, I think. You need to talk to Champy. He's the TO, I believe. Champy, get involved. The Blade stuff in the original AOS box set is all cheap as beans on eBay and all viable. Thank you, Lee Bromley. So, yeah, I wouldn't buy it for Christmas from the website, but eBay, you've got loads of options there. The Bloodsecrator you definitely want. Now, Scar Bloodwrath, in my opinion, you want because he's just really cool. He keeps dying. You can keep bringing him back. He's really annoying. I would get Scar Bloodwrath. I think he's a really fun model and really good to include. Valkyria is also pretty good, but wouldn't be like my go-to. Then you got the Herald of Khorne. I wouldn't take Skull Cannons, and I wouldn't pick them up either. Blood Crushers. Now, Blood Crushers have got the same thing that the Juggernauts have, but they're not. They don't have. They've got 1 less wound and then 1 less save, but they're 30 points cheaper per 3. So it's 120 points for 3 Blood Crushers, and it's 150 points for 3 Skull Crushers. But I think the save that you get is way better. However, they are demons, so you can apply all the demon buffs. So it depends if you want to go down the demon route or the mortal route. So for me, it's which one of those two do you want to go down? And then the Blood Crushers, and they're cheap. The Blood Crushers, and I reckon because those start collecting boxes on eBay, so they cost the same. For me, I want the extra wound and the 3-up save. I think that overall is going to really change it. That's going to change the shape of the stuff. Oh, Brucimus, 83. Why can't I automatically give Rob my Prime sum every month? But thank you for doing it. I don't know, man. The more consistent way to do it, obviously, is to do it with an actual paid subscription. But I really appreciate anyone using their Twitch Prime subscription, which is free, on the show as well. So just any of you for subscribing are rad, and it really cheers me up. The support's been pretty overwhelming the past 2 years. So thank you, everyone. Blood Crushers. Has anyone got any thoughts? Blood Crushers or Skull Crushers? For me, I feel Skull Crushers. But they've got the same. They've got the same thing. You do the mortal wound charge, and you can have units of 12 Skull Crushers, units of 12. It's a lot of wounds. That's bravery 10. So you could do both. To mix it up. But let me tell you, those points reductions have really stepped up that army. I think it's quite scary. But big sources of depravity. So if you're playing against Chaos, not Chaos, against Slash, then so. You can take Karanak and Fleshhounds. I would do it if I wanted to run them, but it wouldn't be my first thing I get. But they're fun. Now we're on to the Bloodthirsters. Now all the Bloodthirsters are cool. There's the ability to pile and attack twice. Piling 6 inches from the Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury is really big. So you probably would pick up the Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury, but people keep using that. don't really. You could do that with the Juggernauts, but then they're not charging. I'm going to make a controversial point here in that I don't think that the Bloodthirsters with the Unfettered Fury is particularly great. I would go the Bloodthirster of Incessant Rage. Now I know that a lot of the core players will tell me that I'm wrong, and they might be able to show me why. But the fun that you can have with the Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury, and just do the Mortal Wound AoE strike because he's got the big shot, is what I would go for. If I was going to take monsters, I think that's the scary build. So just that would be what I would take for me. But competitive players around the world seem to disagree with me and take the Bloodthirster of Infected Fury. So that if you're going to buy a Demon Prince and build it a certain way, normally Bloodthirster of Infected Fury competitive, Bloodthirster of Incessant Rage, which is the same box, fun. Now, I know that the 6-inch piling bypasses the activation wall, Stonehewer. I understand why it's taken and why people do it. And maybe there's an inherent weakness. The Mortal Wounds of the charge from the Skull Crushers overrides the activation walls as well. So, and a unit of 6 of them on the charge can do 12 Mortal Wounds, which is pretty good. Oh, Vladium, yeah, you've got your chat gang hat. All right. And then finally, Scarbrand. Oh, my voice is actually going. Yes, Scarbrand. I 100% would get Scarbrand. If you're like been toying with Scarbrand, he's really good in the game. You're like, oh, shall I take Scarbrand? Do I want to get him? He's great in the game. He works really well. He's super solid. Absolutely would pick up a Scarbrand. So, yeah. Sweet. I've done them all. Final one. Skaven. Let's go. Welcome to the high class. You guys are so cute. My throat is ragged. I had tonsillitis at the weekend, so I think it's still struggling a little bit. Right, Skaven. Oh, man. Okay, let's do this. And then we are done for the day, which is going to be sweet. Join us tomorrow for... is John Scriven still here? Are we doing Order John tomorrow? You'll have to look on the Twitter or the Facebook. I actually can't remember which one we're doing tomorrow, but... right. Skaven. Start with the Endless Spells. Yes. 100% I'm picking up the Endless Spells. Gnaw Holes. Yes. There's a great question of whether or not you even need Gnaw Holes, but... yeah, I'm going to go for it. Skaven Wannabe Chaos. So Skaven are cool because it's like a palette cleanser. We're not talking about anything from before. We're just talking about Skaven. Hydrate. I haven't got anything to hydrate with. That's my problem. I was just too rushed this morning. Anyway. Thanks, Bling Marine, though. RIP going over Stormcasts. Skaven equals true chaos. And I agree with that. They are chaotic. So you're picking up the Gnaw Holes. You're picking up the Endless Spells. Right? Learn Trade Play says, why subscribe only chat? This sucks on this channel and chatting. I just can't afford it. Sorry, Learn Trade Play. I just did it as a Christmas thing for everyone. I'm not trying to oh man, hold on. Wait, how do I do this? Yeah, can I do that? Hold on, 1 second. Let me just do some stuff. Yeah. Let's see if that works. Maybe that works. There you go. There you go, Learn Trade Play. Merry Christmas. Thanks for being here and for being part of the crew. Yeah? So, there you go. It's because everyone else in the chat has been amazing for 2 years. So, I've just... you can donate subs to people in the chat. Obviously, and anyway, Merry Christmas. Everyone here... I just want everyone... to be and you like you say, you can't afford it, so fine. Like someone else has subscribed to me, you can have a subscription for the day, or for the month. I just want everyone to. I like it when it's subscriber only chat at the minute for what we're doing here because it just means a bunch of other people who I think it stops there being a bunch of crap talk. It's just a bunch of people hanging out. So anyway, happy to do it. So welcome to the show. Anyway, let's get on with the fucking show. I want to build a community. That's what I really want to do. And I think it's nice. I think when people buy into the community, I think it builds a stronger one, in my opinion. But we'll see. Yeah. Scrivo, love you too. Are you still here, Scrivs? What army am I doing tomorrow? Which faction? The normal shows are still going to be free. It's just these day shows. What I want to do with the day shows in the future is I want to build a really big community of people. I want us to have memes. I want it to have it so because you can give the option for the chat to be able to like make media appear on the screen and other stuff, and I want to give the chat that, but I need a really healthy chat that is working with me as opposed to like anything else. Anyway, I'm just such a twat, aren't I? I'm just going to shut up now. Right, Norhole and it's death. So tomorrow, Thursday, death. That's what we're doing. Jester Star said it was the community that stood out when I watched the video, so thought I'd sub to be on all the fun. Yeah, man, the community's rad. The memes are great. I don't know where Sinise is. Like, John in the drawings. Like, we got a great crew for the next, I think the next, 10 years of us hanging out, talking. We're in this hobby, I think, for life. So I think we're just going to be, rocking it. So just get involved, because we're only going to grow. I'm at CanCon next month. That's the Australian community. All those guys are wicked. The Irish guys, Swedish guys. Canadian, American, anyway. So the Start Collecting box is pretty cool. You've got Plague Monks, which are still really good. You've got the Plague Furnace, which actually can also be built as a Screaming Bell. The Screaming Bell, definitely I would include in an army. And then the Plague Claw Catapult, if you want to take it, can also be built as... what the hell? There's a Christmas Red Roblin. How did you do that in Kasuni? That's really rad. Look at that one. That's awesome. Cease is probably going to blow. February equals Wales and Sheffield. Oh, nice. Yeah. I don't need my finger out. Eggs. Retta Santi. Oh, what have you got? A little Christmas. Okay. So yeah, the Start Collecting box is really good. Plague Monks, I think that if you actually look at the rest of the Skaven Battle Tome, you need Plague Monks. I'm glad that they didn't hit them as hard as they did, because Storm Vermin were too expensive, maybe in comparison to Plague Monks, but just generally. What did Harry said? Do eggs too on the last weekend of Feb. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot to do. Right, so... Start Collecting the box, great choice. You could possibly even pick up a couple, because I think you get 20 Plague Monks, and if you picked up 2 Start Collecting boxes, Skaven Pestilence, that means you'll have 2 Warp Lightning Cannons, you'll have 2 Screaming Bells, and you have 20 Plague Monks, which is the base of a very competitive Skaven army. So it's absolutely a do. Then you've got the Vermin Lords. And you absolutely, if you're like, I want a Vermin Lord, you can't go wrong. It's a great box. It's just what you're going to build it as is the biggest issue. The Warbringer is amazing because of its spell, and it's okay in combat. The Warpseer, even though it got more expensive, they're all 2-cast wizards that are super survivable. The Warpseer is really, really good. Screech Vermin King, really, really good. The Deceiver, really, really good. The Corruptor, really, really good. Now, some people might be like, oh, they're not as good as they were, but they are... Diadrin, did you miss Beast of Chaos? You did, but that was basically the whole show as well. So, but you're going to be able to watch it back. It's free to watch back, and I'm putting it up as a podcast, and it's on YouTube, so you got all the options. But a Vermin Lord, if you want to buy a Vermin Lord, do it. And there isn't really a wrong choice, but it depends on what's in the rest of your army. But they're all very good. The Grey Seer and Screaming Bell is ludicrous compared to other things, so it's a great choice, a great purchase. But if you are going to start collecting Skaven, you have to, in my opinion, you have to start with the Endless Spells, the Terrain Piece, and Clan Rats. You've got to pick up a bunch of different Clan Rats, unless you're going to go for if you're going to go pure Pestilence. But normally, the competitive builds or the really strong builds are Skaventide. I got a shout out Nick Thompson from WS10. I agree that the Scryer build is really fun, but Scryer Acolytes are far too expensive. just really, really tough. So I would. They're too expensive to buy. If you can convert them, then Scryer Acolytes, you would have a really great time. But I would start out with Clan Rats. So Clan Rats is where I would go, and then I would start adding on the fun elements. So then, what else can we add? The other thing from Forge World is the Warp Gnaw Vermin Lord, and he's amazing. Amazing. Not a lot of people take him, and I don't know why. I think Mark takes them, Mere Mouse. So they move 12 inches, but they've got 4 attacks in close combat from the Norglaive, 3/3 Ren 2, but damage 5. So 20 damage at Ren 2 can come out of a Warp Gnaw Vermin Lord. They're so good. So good. They're also a 2-cast wizard. They can start off the board because of the Realm Guide, and they can take a unit with them. Honestly, it's a really good Vermin Lord that you don't see very often. So, yeah, you could do that. Next up, so that's the thing about Skaven is it's all good. Now, Thanquol is and has been cussed out a little bit because he's not been as strong as he has. As strong as you might think, or he's too expensive, basically. But with the rise of Mortek Guard, Thanquol is incredible for being able to burn hordes with really good armor saves. So Thanquol, maybe, if you've ever been thinking about pulling the trigger on Thanquol, has got a place in a Skaven army now, in my opinion. But yeah. So Storm Vermin, unfortunately, sit between Clan Rats and Plague Monks, where Clan Rats are your good chaff, but Clan Rats also can be turned into they're kind of like Marauders. Like, you can get +1 to hit, +1 to wound if you've got a big blocking of them. You've got Claw Lords that can give them, you can put Death Frenzy on them. Like, you can genuinely make Clan Rats do some decent output if you wanted to invest in a Horde. The problem is Plague Monks do it better, so your Clan Rats are your chaff and your Plague Monks are your actual hitters. And Storm Vermin just are left out because they don't do either of the two jobs well enough, and they've only got a 5-up save. They get +1 to the save rolls if there are 10 or more of them, but they're just too expensive, which is a giant shame. So, poor Storm Vermin. Yeah. Now, other great characters to pick up, in my opinion, is the Arch Warlock. And you could potentially pick up multiple Arch Warlocks. I used him at a tournament of the weekend, and he's awesome in combat. He can do D6 damage if you overcharge, which you should all the time. It's just, yeah, man. Just get involved. It's really, really strong in my opinion. The Arch Warlock, and he's really good. He's a 2-cast wizard. He can do Warp Lightning Storm, and you can do it as many times from as many Arch Warlocks as you like. So multiples of them are good. He's got a Warp Fire Gauntlet that does D3 mortal wounds. It's really good. He's also got 6 wounds with a 3-up save. The model is metal though, so it's really. But you could definitely kit bash one. But it's a wicked model, and it's really good inside the game. So that's the Arch Warlock. So I would definitely pick up the Arch Warlock. Now, Storm Fiends. If you want to take Storm Fiends, you can be my friend. To the theme of Spice Girls. Now, you can only take them in units to 6 as before, but they're still solid. Every Skaven player I've seen was like, cool, I'll take 2 units to 6, or 6 is actually all I need. Any more than 6 is overkill. I don't think Nathan also agrees. Nathan's played against Skaven quite a bit. I think the 9 build was really effective, but I think the 6 build is still really good. So Storm Fiends are in no way worse than they. Well, I think Storm Fiends are good, and I think 6 is still really fine. So you're really good. Scryer Acolytes, if you are a millionaire, are absolutely a good purchase, but you have to be a millionaire, so that would be no. I'll make sure I go through everything. I'm sorry if this is a bit quick. Grayseer is amazing. One of the best wizards, if not the best wizard in the game for its points. Ludicrous, can eat Wartstone tokens. Just crazy good. Really, really, really good. Acolytes are maybe the best unit in the game, but you have to be able to get them in there. But really, yeah, they're really, really good. Also, little trick with the Acolytes, getting up the board, because they're poison wind globes. Oh wait, does that work? No, it doesn't work, so don't worry about it. 30 shots at Ren 2, run and shoot. Yeah, let's talk about them. So if you take a unit of 30 shots, 8-inch range, hit on 4s, wound on 4s, Ren 2, D3 damage. Now, don't forget, you could do more and more warp power on those guys. And now you're doing 30 shots, hitting on 4s, rerolling, wound on 4s, rerolling, Ren 2, D3 damage. Isn't there a good Clan Rat plus Mechanicus conversion for Acolytes? Yeah, you could do Clan Rat heads on Mechanicum bodies if you wanted to. The Rat Canicum, me and Nick made some. It was really fun. And you can run and shoot. So if you wanted to, you can make this unit auto run 6, so they can move 12 inches. So a 20-inch threat range is really good. Add on to hit rolls for attacks with the poison wind glow mortars if there's 10 or more models. So it'd be 3s, 4s, Ren 2, D3 damage. So you could potentially nuke a unit with the Scryer Acolytes. So they're really good. So or you could Vigor Dust them, so they're going to be hitting on 2s. I would want the more warp power for the rerolls on the 4s. DeBolt, yeah, look at you chat gang hat. And Reflex Dog Training Painting says, if you go to his Instagram, full pics of Acolytes conversions with Plague Monks, all right? I'm going to start with what I have, but probably stick with my DAK competitive events for now. Oh, good. Warp Lightning Cannon, absolutely great. Totally would get it. Really good in an army. Don't worry about it. Get the Start Collecting box, because you're buying a Warp Lightning Cannon anyway. You might as well get everything else for cheaper. Doom Wheels. Having used 3 of them at an event, I can't wait to buy my 4th. There's no reason these aren't one of the most fun units in the game. I was lucky enough to come away with best sports at that event, and I was playing Skaven, so I hope that gives you an indication of how fun they are. They are ludicrously fun. They're behemoths, so then the rest of your army becomes a little bit more difficult to put together. They're also war machines, so you also lose a bunch of war machines, but they're amazing. They run over units. The shooting's crazy good. I impressed a lot of people, I think, that weekend with the Doom Wheels. So you want a Doom Wheel for breakfast? No, I would like 90 Scryer Acolytes for Christmas, please. Next up, Jezzails. A lot of people take Jezzails. Jezzails are really good. They're really crappy old models. You can do much better version, as someone in the chat was just saying. You could use the Mechanicum Transonic Arquebuses, give them rat heads, much better looking Jezzails. They look really cool, but they're really good in the game, really useful. Giant rats and rat swarms are gross. Like, I can't really advocate anyone buying them models-wise or rules-wise. Rat ogres, same thing. Hellpit Abomination, I absolutely can rate those, especially against Mortek Guard. They'll eat Mortek Guard for dinner. Problem is they'll die really quick. They'll also take that behemoth slot up, but let me tell you, 4 of those you could have possibly the most fun, because they can come back to life on a 5+. In 6 games, they came back alive 4 times, winning me some of the games. So just do it. Like, they're really, really fun. That's one of those fun builds. Like, I'd like to take Skaven, but I don't want people to hate me. Like, and also you don't know if they're coming back, so your opponent can't play around it. They're really good. Gutter Runners and Night Runners absolutely would include in an army. You've got to work out exactly how you're going to do it, but they're really good. And then the Screech's Spike Claw, I would not take. That is the Underworld's Warband. So I think I've covered it. If that, we already hate you. I've done it, boys. Wargaming Dad Christmas. So yeah, there's my go-tos. So a quick TLDR: buy the Beast of Chaos Start Collecting box 3 times, or Archeon, Chaos Marauders, and Varangard, and you can basically play any army in the game. Pick up all of the under spells for the different factions and the terrain pieces, and then you're laughing, you're having a great time. Best allies in Chaos have got to be. I wrote those down somewhere. There. Yeah, Zangor Shaman, maybe Gashrak from Beast of Chaos, and the epitome of Slanesh. They're really good. Varangard, am I made of money? Maybe not, no. All right, so that's listen. It's honestly Chaos Faction is, in my opinion, it's the cheapest faction to get the most multi-use model like usage out of, which is going to be really different when you go into not Stormcast, sorry, Order, where it's like, no, you have to buy the units in that army to play that army. Whereas Chaos is the most like financially like soft army to buy into. Like Scrivo, I hear what you're saying about Varangard, but if you do pick up 2 units of Varangard, as an example, you can use them in Khorne, you can use them in Nurgle, Tzeentch, Save Starters, you can use them in 5 armies, man. Like, so that's not bad, really, when you just keep thinking it through, right? What did you just do? It's actually transmitted darkness, edgy. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So listen, you guys have been wicked. Thank you very much for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's not been too much of a mess. If you've been listening to the podcast back, join us on the Twitch chat when you can. If you've been listening to YouTube or whatever, leave some comments. Thanks for being there. I know it's different time zones, but thank you to Scrivo, Reflex, De Templar, Marthmallow, Tristan, Big Love You, Cabbage, Idiot Wind, A Reaper, Wargaming Dad, Vladium, Tatafishy, DeBolt, what up, DeBolt, A Reaper. Yeah, so man, Heinrad, I see you, Bling Marine. So thanks for hanging, dudes. I'll see you tomorrow when we're doing Death, Spooky Death for Christmas. But yeah, Merry Christmas. Have a great day. I'm going to try and put these all up as podcasts and videos soon. Yeah, man, just have a great time. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.